Hi, I'm Neil Fu. Very good Tuesday morning that I'm doing a recording on my YouTube about One Belt, One Road with Southeast Asia as well as with Malaysia. So if you think that you like it, please subscribe on my YouTube and also like and share. Today about the topic of One Belt, One Road, also called the OBOR, that they've been there for a few years, and with the new government of Pakatan National, that there was an announcement on 18th of May 2020 that these Kuala Lumpur and Singapore high-speed rail system that is going to restore or restarts, and also on ECRL, East Coast railway lines that will be started. So I think come in the right time that it would help us to re-stimulate for the economy during the COVID lockdown, because a lot of shops that we have been hearing for the past 1 or 2 months, especially this 1 or 2 weeks, that it's very scary that we have many hotels closed down, many retail shops closed down, that among our friends that they have problem. And of course the next round will be the retrenchment that is very fearful. Everybody is fearful about the near future of our Malaysian economy as well as the world economy, because today with the globalization we are everybody is relying on all the countries that we are doing international trades, including from China, even from America, being the biggest consumer markets in the world. That so nobody will be left out in terms of good and bad when it comes to economic development and also political development. So today I want to talk about this One Belt, One Road. Just back in 2015, I was grateful that I was one of the pioneers, among those that we were briefed, and also to start the relationship with China side on One Belt, One Road. So I remember when back in 2015, at that time I was serving the SME of Malaysia, so-called SAME, Secretariat for the Advancement of Malaysian Entrepreneurs, under the Prime Minister Department. So being the businessman that I was kind of get on to this mission to help the SME of Malaysia, small, medium and enterprises, that at that time I was advocating a lot of new finance about venture capitals, crowdfundings, even factoring and things like that, and also a lot of DFI, Development Financial Institution, to help the SME. So at the same time, China was introducing the One Belt, One Road, which is to cover 64 countries in the world, especially start from Beijing with their high-speed train to link up all these countries, right? Whether it's on the land, and even they have their the coast, the sea strategy, so-called. And of course the whole thing that say from Beijing even to London, even to Europe, even in between the South Asia or the Mid Asia, that many countries are benefiting from that, including Southeast Asia, especially Malaysia. So why I say I'm grateful, because out of this One Belt, One Road, Malaysia was chosen or still chosen to be the prime country, the most important country to become the connecting point, especially with the Southeast Asia. So with the high-speed train all the way from the western part of China, we link up to like Thailand, and all the way to Malaysia through Kelantan, so-called ECRL, East Coast railway lines. That would be the connection of 210 kilometers from Kota Baru to Terengganu to Kuantan, and all the way to Portland. Right. Of course, there will change of the two governments from Barisan Nasional to Pakatan to Harapan government, and now is Pakatan National. that of course now we start the whole thing, but all the time this plan is still with all this government. But at that time when Harapan government was like put on hold for a while, back in September of 2018, so they say that by May of 31st of 2020 we restart the whole project again. Okay, that is good news, because on 18th of May 2020 the new government that had announced that ECRL will restart, you know, and they will have phase A and phase B. Okay, so phase A and phase B. Phase A will start all these civil engineering work that which is going to benefit the SME, and for the next phase, so-called phase B, that will be 9.2 billion that worth of the project to benefit the big companies. So and 40% of the projects would be given to our local enterprises. Good news, isn't it? And for both the SME and also for the big corporate, that kind of come in the right time. Of course, there have been reports that like MRCB, YTL, Gamuda, all these consortium will benefit from this mega project, that, you know, this will be the injection of the infra investment by the government, of course, you know, to stimulate the economic activities that finally will come back to the enterprises. So the next one is also talking about Kuala Lumpur and Singapore high-speed train, you know, to connect again. So all the way from Kuala Lumpur, Bandar Malaysia, to Seremban, to Bangi, Putrajaya, and also to Malacca, to Muar, Batu Pahat, and Iskandar, and connect to Jurong of Singapore, right? So that also worth about 6.8 billion. Is 68 billion worth of ringgit Malaysia for the project. And also with that also there have been some saving on the cost by working with lesser terminals, so that they can cut some costs, because with the previous Harapan government that they have do up some saving. It was good, and so they continue with all this cost saving strategy. But anyway, the most essential part is at least we have the infra the project to be injected into the economic system, in which that would help us to revive our economy, because our economy is very weak now. Many hotels that just you know, closed down, collapsed, restaurant, shops, you know, even factories are affected with the retrenchment, you know, in average with about 20 to 30% of retrenchment of the numbers of the employees, and those that even worse, that they totally closed down. So because before the vaccine come out, I think we have to bear with it at least for the next half a year, that you know, would not be like full operation back to the business world, that we still need some stimulants on that. So talking about this Kuala Lumpur and Singapore high-speed rail, that again, as usual, the China counterpart and also Japan counterpart, they are competing to get the projects for these high-speed rail system, that Japan may want to come up with the capital, or may come up with just the technical part, or both, that to work with the MOF, Ministry of Finance, the National Infra Company, to come up with some kind of strategy to work it out. So the whole thing is come back to about this ECRL. By year end, the job will start, and by 2026 December as scheduled, that which will last about 5 to 6 years, that will really definitely would help our economy. So this come in the right time. So these are the two essential parts that today I want to share with everybody. And let me come back to about One Belt One Road is what I understood. And even now I'm a free person as a businessman again, but I have not stopped conveying, advocating to inform the market, you know, about One Belt One Road, you know, in terms of the economic impact on Southeast Asia, that you know, Malaysia definitely is the center point of Southeast Asia in terms of our geographic advantage, our language, our political connection with all these Southeast Asia countries, as well as with the Greater China, say from China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and elsewhere of other countries, that always I believe Malaysia can play as a center part of Southeast Asia. All right. So with 600 million population versus you know, China 1.4 billion, that we enjoy half of the population here. Of course, we know the culture, we know the languages like Bahasa Malaysia, English, and Mandarin, that we have an advantage. And also with Malaysia, we can move around with our physical, our location point, and also with our languages ability, that we can well connect with the outside world. That's why I always say Malaysia is a window of ASEAN, Southeast Asia, that even now I'm the column writers to US News Express, that always I try to write about Southeast Asia economy, Southeast Asia financial, to inform the America readers, even some of the articles that you know, I'm been writing in English and also in Chinese. Those Chinese articles that will go back to China online portal on the news, that in a way is I'm playing my personal capacity, my personal parts, to inform the world that Malaysia is great, Southeast Asia is great, because in terms of the GDP comparison, Southeast Asia is still with the strongest alliance among the world. And also come back about this One Belt One Road. You know, I've been saying that today, if you're flying from Beijing to London, say flying, right, it's just to point A to point B, and back to point B to point A. That's it. Of course, you know, nothing to do with those people at, I mean, on the earth, right? So with high-speed train, that if you were to imagine that if you travel from Beijing to London, so we have to go through so many countries, because One Belt One Road it covers 64 countries. Then a lot of opportunities, development, cultural exchange, education exchange, and also for the SME, that, you know, imagine that you travel on the train, you can jump up from Beijing, you can jump up you know, to Thailand. Then after that, a few days, you know, you have all the exchange, dialogues, interaction. Then you can jump on to the train again. Maybe you proceed to, you know, to say to India, you know, along the way to Turkey, even up to Europe and all these, that you can jump on and off to create a lot of opportunities, you know, not only financial part on the economic, but on the cultural, on the non-economic. That fantastic, right? And at the same time, with all this infra to go through all these countries, that, you know, we can bring up the social economy of each of the countries that either is underdeveloped or developing, and vice versa. Also will help each other to bring up the well-being of the human being of this region. So it's a fantastic idea. You know, when I wasn't really understood about it back in 2014. You know, when I heard about One Belt One Road, wow, okay, it's like, you know, I can't understand it. But I was among the invitees when I was. We have a group with the business delegation went to Beijing. I was so grateful that I was invited from one of the pioneer listeners to One Belt One Road when we do the briefing. That I was say, wow, fantastic, right? So in a way, I participated in the history of this China and Malaysia in terms of One Belt One Road, because China has briefed us that outside of China, Malaysia is the most important country to do the linkages of all these infra, all these socio-economic development, right? So after the Beijing trip, you know, 9 of us. Then immediately there was a follow-up meeting in KL Hilton during the luncheon meeting, that the then ambassador of China to Malaysia, you know, Your Highness Wang Hui Kang, he has briefed us again even further and deeper in terms of the strategic approach of the One Belt One Road in Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, especially when it comes to high-speed train. That it was wonderful, right? So during the lunch appointment, that basically he didn't eat much, So while eating, we're listening to his brief about the high-speed train, about the port plank, about Tanjung Pelepas Port, about Kuantan Port, and also the heavy industry of Kuantan Qingzhou Industrial Park, which is linked to the Qingzhou of China, and also in Bintulu for the petrochemical port. The whole strategy there was nicely lined up, that I can see a lot of opportunity. I could see, and until today I can see that if this thing come back, that really would benefit in terms of our socio-economic, in terms of our GDP well-being, right? So at that time also there was an idea of an EWTP was advocated by Jack Ma of Alibaba. So there was a big hoo-ha when Jack Ma came to develop the DFTZ, Digital Free Trade Zone. I was fortunate again, I was put under the Special Task Force of DFTZ to witness and also to inform to the market, what is the whole concept of DFTZ in the previous LCCT of Asia, that they changed the whole thing to become the free trade zone for the digital or e-commerce market. So at that time, I visited the operation under the post-aviation, and also I witnessed Lazada stock was there and still there. That the whole idea is when Alibaba bought over this Lazada, so they try to make Malaysia as the center point of Southeast Asia to do the re-export of the e-commerce platform, to bring back all his small warehouse all over in Jakarta, in Thailand, in Philippines, to bring back to DFTZ, which was the previous LCCT, so that they can have the cargo in and out, and we benefit from that, right? So of course there was a change of government, there was a bit of slow progress, but we are fortunate it's still there. That today I want to advocate again, because these 2 years I've been with my free person capacity, but I still look at all these, that the infrastructure has been laid down for years, that we should tap on it and fully adopt to all these opportunities. So now I'm working with a few private operators that they are very experienced in e-commerce, and also the logistic, last miles, cross borders, the logistic and whatnot, that we want to help Malaysian e-commerce, we want to help the regional e-commerce to take Malaysia as a center point, not only for Southeast Asia, also for North America, because we have enjoyed a good facilities here in terms of the logistic and in terms of the courier service fees that Malaysia has been enjoying, one of the lowest. So, but of course, not many people know about that. We should really make use of that, so that if you do not know about the existence, doesn't mean that it's not there. So that's why with this video that I can share as much as I can in terms of the high-speed train, in the digital free trade zone, and also the next would see Malaysia economic after this COVID. Of course, you can see a lot of IPO counters with those that are making masks, making gloves, that the IPO counter has enjoyed good investment by the funders. Used to be undervalued, but now they regain the strength and of their counter price of the healthcare industry. So the next moment we see, as said just now, high-speed train, you can see all the infra companies, the counters, the IPO counters had shot up again. Used to be undervalued by 26%. Now they have came back. So the next one will be benefit like property counters, right? So of course we say that the past 2-3 years that the Malaysia government has curbed over speculation of property. Therefore, it become supply more than demands. But as said, population always, we have new babies to come up. We have a new generation of those young generation that when they have improved of the income, they may look for a house, And even when come to the middle age, they become a manager of the GM. They may want to upgrade their properties. That always properties they are demands there. Of course, with these 2 years and also even with the COVID challenge, that the developer will become more prudent, that they will not simply come out with a lousy location, to woo the buyers or to woo for the unnecessary speculation. So with the genuine demands of the new generation, that developers would have a good futures, even though today people would not believe that, but always look ahead that Malaysia, our value of property is still become one of the most favorite among the Asian, whether from Greater China, from Arab, from India, people tends to think that wow, the good living environment of the world in Malaysia, that people are friendly here, we have a nice food, and also the investment for the property is not that expensive. Always people say that Malaysia property is undervalued. So with all these combination of all this information, I want to say that not only One Belt One Road, but we are chosen because of our advantages. We are chosen with our competency, that One Belt One Road, we should take advantage of that. And also we can be friends with everybody. Not only One Belt One Road, we have many kind of alliances that always take Malaysia as the partners. Of course, we are looking forward to the APEC meeting conference in end of 2020 in Langkawi. So that will be the things that we are looking for. So even though we are suffering from the COVID, let us keep up our spirit and also look forward. Always think of what the opportunities that is given with all this infra that have been crafting for all these years. That don't stop thinking, and also don't stop taking our action to take the advantage of these given or the gifts of our geography and also our political system that was laid out nicely. Of course, with the change of government, okay, let it be, because it's a democratic process. That come back to our bottom line. Let us work hard and keep Malaysia head up, and also to create more opportunities with the challenge of the retrenchment now. So okay, retrenchment, we hope that will be a very short term. If we can create more business opportunities, then we will create more employment for all those people that lost job, and also get all these talents back and become our team. Then we will build another business empire then. Alright, I hope that you enjoy this video. Looking for your subscribe, like and share. I will see you in the next video. Bye from now. Thank you.